Hiya, it's Hannah the Artisan Duck, and I have a polymer clay tutorial today showing you how to use your clay extruder just with two different discs to make this really easy heart cane ready for all your Valentine's bakes. So I've sped things up by getting started already. I'm using, let me show you, this teardrop shape for my extruder and this sort of snake shape, just make little worms with it. So I've got my teardrops that I've already made like that, and I've made two equal lengths, and you can see, really simple, if you put them together you get a heart shape. So just be careful to match the points up because you want this to be as neat as is possible, and then follow it all the way down, making sure that bottom point matches up. So I might just take this off camera very quickly just to make sure it's as neat as it can be, and I'll be back in a second. Right, there you go, there's my teardrops put together, and I've just gone down and I've just pinched where those points meet just to get a sharper join as possible. And you can see I've got one slightly bigger than the other, but it's not a problem. Right, I've already made my snakes of clay with my other extruder discs, so they're all here. And now in order to maintain the heart shape, we need to pack around this heart with these worms to support the shape. So when we reduce it, the heart stays intact. So I'm just going to start off by filling the gap down the middle, and then we'll build all the way around the outside. And once we've done that, we're then going to fill in the bits where it's obviously sort of tapered in or whatever, because that'll need a little bit more clay around it. I'll just show you the one I've done. You can see I've had to build up the sides slightly and over the top so that when we roll it, we don't squash any of the detail. So the first thing I did, I'm going to take one of my snakes and I'm just going to roll it a little bit thinner because I want to get in this little gap all the way down the middle there. So just make it a little bit smaller. I mean, if you didn't want to do this, but you could just run some more clay on a smaller disc. There's one with like smaller holes in it, and that'll give you a thinner snake. But if you just roll it, and we'll get it reasonably thin to pop in the middle. Right, there we go. I've put that thin, quite thin snake down the centre there, and I'm just going to use a little tool. This isn't essential if you don't feel it's necessary. I'm just going to push it down because I really do want that sitting snugly in the middle there. So just gently go along. If you don't have a tool like this, you could just use a ball tool or something like that. Just anything flat, even like an old card or something. As long as you can just press in, and I'm not pressing too hard to distort the shape. Just sufficient to push it right down there. There we go. Now I'm going to start by just taking one of the regular pieces, and I'm just going to go on top, right down the middle again, and we'll just start building this up. And I'm going to push them down as I go. Like that, and then I'm going to use a craft blade just to cut it like that. And obviously this clay has already been really conditioned, ready for use. I just skipped all that bit because nobody wants to see me do that. Right, so now that's in place, I'm just going to carry on, put another one right next to it, and so forth. So I shall probably either speed this up or jump through to where it's done, and I'll come and show you what I do next. There we go, and I've made sure that they're all firmly attached with no gaps in between. So now I need to build out the top So if you imagine that these bits will be the side of the circle, I need to build out the top, and then I need to build a little bit out the bottom on each side as well, just to make it more circular. So just continue adding your worms of clay, building up in those spaces where you need it. There we go. I've built up the top and the bottom, and the pieces that went on the edges I've rolled out a little bit to make them a bit thinner, so there's not quite such a dip in where that piece finishes, if that makes any sense. It's sort of a much more gradual slope up. And now just press it all in, make sure it's all firmly attached. You can start smoothing out some of the edges with your fingers, and then we're just going to reduce it down and cut and hope for the best. So I shall crack on with that. Right, I've reduced that down, so here we are now for the moment of truth. Let's see if it still looks like a heart. It was a slightly nerve-wracking moment. There we go, just squash it back into a circle, and there we have our cute little heart. So I'm going to go away and make that into some jewellery pieces, and I shall come back and show you the results. So here's some of the finished results that I've made with the cane. All I did was cut some slices of my cane off and put them on some of the red clay underneath. I have a video showing how I do this, so I'll link to that somewhere down below. But yeah, so I've got these earrings. I've got some little heart earrings here, like that, and then I made some bigger ones. And all I've done up here is use some of the leftover clay just to make some little component pieces to go with them, and then also made these little domed hearts, which I think are really, really cute. Anyway, until next time, cheers, bye!